Hello everybody, welcome to this verbling class with me. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is all about the missing Malaysian Airlines plane. What do you guys think happened to it? It's still gone, we still don't know where it is, it's turned into a modern mystery. We've got an article to read which is quite interesting this morning, giving us some of the details about the plane, and we'll probably just have a talk about what we think happened so we can practice our speaking and our reading together. So if you have booked a slot in this class, then come on in and join us. If you would like to watch or listen via YouTube or Google+, then you are very welcome. And we look forward to getting started with this topic in a few minutes. While we wait for everybody to get here, I would just like to share a couple of things with you. I'm going to put these in both chat boxes today because it seems like the verbling chat box is not doing so well lately. So the first page I'm sharing with you guys is my Facebook page, and that one is very useful if you're a Facebook person. So if you like going on Facebook or you use it quite a bit, then it's a good way just to keep in touch with what's going on, maybe to remind you to do some English studying, also just to see what the teachers share. Maybe there's some fun stuff, maybe there's some useful stuff, so do click on Facebook and like me or any of the other teachers if you wish. The second page is where you'll find all the information you need to know about any of the teachers, to do with their experience, who they are, where they're from, and when their schedules are. So if you're interested in taking some more classes with a particular teacher and you want to know when they are, you can go and see their schedule on the Verbing teacher page. You might also be interested in taking private tutoring sessions, which is just you and the teacher, one-on-one, to make a little bit more progress in a particular area. So you can book private tutoring slots directly from the Verbing teacher pages. And if there is anything else and you are stuck with something, you can write us a message. So they're very handy pages. Do take note of those if you've never seen them before. As I mentioned before, this is a reading and speaking class about the missing Malaysian Airlines plane. It's been a while since we've talked about it. It kind of faded out of the news. But this is an interesting article that I found the other day while I was researching. And I thought, oh, this would be a good topic for a class. So let's say hello and see who we have in the class to talk about conspiracy theories and what happened with this Malaysian Airlines plane. Well, first of all, say hello to Simone. Hello, Simone.
Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yes, I can now. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, it's nice to see you, Simone. How's life treating you?
Very, very well, thank you.
Really? Why very, very
Yeah.
well and not just well? Is there a particular exciting thing that's happened to you lately?
Yes, I'm going back to London next month.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. How come? What for?
For fun?
Just for a
I don't
trip?
know.
Just for a kind of a holiday?
Not quite. Actually, I've been missing London a lot, and I've saved some money, and I'm going to spend maybe 6 months more.
Wow, that's awesome news, Simone. So you'll get to practice your English and spend a bit of time
Yeah.
investigating and having a fun time. That is awesome news. I love trips.
Yeah, me too.
Well, congratulations for saving up all the money, because I know it takes a while. It certainly does for me anyway.
Yeah.
But it's worth
Thank you.
it. It's worth it. I had a class the other day about something to do with whether it's better to spend your money on things or experiences, and the article told
Yes,
us experiences are better because you keep reliving
absolutely.
them and you remember them. So that's awesome. Nice work, Simone.
Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome to the class. Paul, how are you?
I'm fine as always. Thanks for asking.
That's
How are
good to
you?
know. I'm very confident that you are always fine, Paul.
Yes, I've told you that I'm always fine because I'm pretty thoughtful person and I keep away from any trouble.
True. But sometimes that still doesn't work, things find you in life, or maybe you pick up, I don't know.
Oh yes, but today I'm lucky and it's all
Today you're
right.
lucky.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, it's lovely to have you in class. I'm purposefully avoiding the topic of class for the moment. I'm going to come back to it in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Welcome anyway. Hello, Paco.
Hello,
Hello,
how are
how
you?
are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What about
Lovely.
you?
I'm great, thank you, Paco. It's been a while since I've seen you. How is everything going?
Uh, Everything is going well. I can't
Good.
complain. Can't
You can't
complain.
complain. Or you won't complain.
So
That's
far.
very good news. Anything particularly exciting or interesting that's going on in your life right now?
Mm, no, not really. Not
Just
really.
normal stuff.
Not really. English classes, tennis, playing.
Mm.
That's my life for now.
Well, it sounds pretty good. All right, that's good to know. Welcome.
Thank you.
Louise, how are you?
Hello, Emmy. I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Nice to see you. And tell me something that's been happening to you lately. Have you been working hard or studying hard or relaxing a lot?
I have a situation. I'm moving, so I just get from the city from where I'm moving. I rented a house there, so it's stressful times.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about this. So you're actually in the middle of moving now?
Yes, I like 20 next. I will be moving definitively.
Okay, on the 20th of March.
Yes,
Yeah.
20th March.
Wow, so that's like a week away, really.
Yeah,
Just
so
over. So
it's
you're
like
getting ready?
I don't know the feeling, but it must be like wait for a child born. You know?
Anticipation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the anticipation, thinking about something that's coming up.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, good luck with that, Luis, if I don't see you again beforehand.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have Ksenia. How do I say your name?
Ksenia.
Ksenia?
Ksenia. Yes, you're right.
Wow, that's a very cool name. Where are you from, Ksenia?
I'm from Russia.
From Russia. Well, welcome. It's lovely to meet you. Tell me something about yourself. Your photo that's very beautiful. Is that you?
Yes, it's me.
And
Thank
where
you.
are you?
It's in France, Paris.
Ah, is that in Paris, the Seine?
Yes, you're right.
When did you go to Paris?
In the last year, in autumn.
All right, wonderful. Well, it's it's very artistic kind of a photo, so it's very pretty. It's lovely to meet you. Tell me something about yourself.
I'm from Russia. I'm 27, and my hobby is cooking, and I love to learn English in my spare time.
Wonderful. Well, that's a perfect little summary. Thank you. Well, I've got to remember your name. Ksenia?
Yes, it's very difficult to pronounce for American. They usually say it Ksenia.
Okay, I will do my best. I apologize if I muck it up.
Okay.
All right, welcome and lovely to meet you. Barley, hello.
Hello.
I haven't met you before either, I don't think.
I think we have been before.
Well, hello.
Yeah, okay, hello. Sorry?
I just said lovely to meet you, Barley.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have, are you using headphones like this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just checking because I heard myself just for a second there. Tell me something about you, Barley. Where are you from and who are you?
I'm from Turkey. I am an engineer and I'm working in a private company. That's all, I think.
All right, where did you say? India or Germany?
No, Turkey.
Yes, but where did you say you're living?
In Turkey. I am living in Ankara. Yeah,
oh, you live in Ankara. Sorry, for some reason I thought it sounded like Geneva. All right, so you're living in Turkey still. Oh, and you work for a company. And tell me, why are you learning English? Is it for your job?
Yeah, because of my job, I need fluency, and I have a relation with foreign companies. So we
Okay.
have, yeah, because of this, I have to, yes.
Sorry, you have to keep practicing your English for your work.
Yes,
Okay, well, wonderful. Lovely to meet you. Welcome to the class.
thank you, nice to meet you.
And Ali,
Yes. Hi,
welcome.
teacher.
Hello.
Hello. How are
How
you?
are you? Jinx. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Can't complain. I'm fine, thank you.
Can't complain either. Can't complain or won't complain. How was what I haven't seen you for, I don't know, a week or so. What's been going on in your world?
Nothing special as usual. It's work time for me.
All right.
I usually work, working hard these days. Sometimes, if I find opportunity, I run away from the city. Maybe at the weekend. That's all right.
Okay, well, lovely to have you in class as always. So we're going to get started on talking about our topic today, guys. So I think we all know the story of this in some way or another. I'm going to share the page with you, and we're just going to read like a tiny, tiny introduction, and then we're going to just share our own views briefly before we read more. So if you'd like to check out the article, then have a look at that link. And if you just want to follow along with me and save yourself the trouble, that's also fine. So there you go. Hopefully you can all see that. Right, Paul, could you read out what we've got in red and white, please? The kind of headline.
No problem. How crazy am I to think I actually know where the Malaysia Airlines plane is? Kind of crazy. Yes.
And I'll get Luis. Could you read out this part here in the year since?
Okay. In a year since the vanishing of MH370, I appeared on CNN more than 50 times, watched my spouse's eyes glaze over a dinner, and fell in with a group of borderline obsessive amateur aviation sleuths. A million theories bloomed, including my own.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so first of all, let's just see if there's anyone who's got any questions. There's a couple of things in there that you may be wondering about. Does anybody want to ask?
I don't know what is sleuths.
Sleuths.
Yeah.
Okay, good word. What is a sleuth? Does anyone know?
Sleuths.
No, this is kind of an unusual one. A sleuth is basically somebody whose job it is to find out information about crimes. And in this case, we're talking about amateur sleuths, which means it's not really their job. They're taking on that job. Sorry?
It's like a detective.
Sort of, yes, exactly. It's like a detective, really. Any other questions? No? Okay. Sorry, Paul. I realised that you were reading this bit out as well. But we're gonna basically read an article which is about this guy who thinks he knows what happens to the plane. Before we read it, though, I just want you guys to tell me quickly, what do you think happened? Do you have no idea, or do you have an idea? And if you do have an idea, what is it? So just a moment while I say hi to the other two students who've just arrived. So Ilkin, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the class. You haven't missed much. We've just done the introductions and we've just opened the article, and now we're about to share our opinions on what we think happened to the Malaysian Airlines plane.
Okay, good.
All right, so I'll come back to you in a moment. Great to have you. And Alexander, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Well, that's great to have you in class today. As I said to Ilkin, we've just started, so you can just join straight in with us. You haven't missed anything, okay?
All right.
Wonderful. Okay, so who would like to go first? Let's ask Simone. Simone, what's your perspective on this whole thing? Are you there, Simone?
What?
No? All right.
Me?
Sorry.
Hi,
No.
Annie, sorry.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
my connection was
Thank you,
bad.
Simone.
Sorry.
No problem.
So actually, I have no idea what may has happened. So it's a sad story because everybody needs answers, and you have no answers at all. So
Absolutely.
actually, I don't know.
So you have no idea. Do you suspect that there was something fishy about it, or do you think it was an innocent plane crash?
Yes, I like to believe that it was an innocent plane crash because I like to believe in this theory.
Okay, thank you, Simone, for starting us off. Let's ask Paul. Paul, what's your interpretation?
Okay, I'm not that keen on watching TV, so I don't know the details. Apart from that, the plane disappeared, and that's all. But I can guess that is, as usual in conspiracy theories, it's either KGB or CIA or FBI or the Pope. So we'll see actually who is responsible for that.
Okay.
That's my thoughts about it.
Thank you, Paul. Wonderful. Okay, Paco, what do you think?
I haven't the foggiest idea. That's what I have listened to in the TV, or in the radio.
Yep.
And I think to have an idea, a right, more or less, idea about it. You have to study the case.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I have only heard that the flight plane disappeared.
And nothing much else.
Sea, over the South China Sea, and that's all.
All right, well, that's two important facts that we need to know anyway, even if it's not much, Paco. So thank you, and I love your answer. I haven't the foggiest. Great idiom. All right. Luis, your turn. What do you reckon?
I think it was a very simple accident. Besides, it was terrible, but there's nothing spectacular about it.
Okay, nothing sinister?
Yes, just I think the media want to sell, and they will just drag a lot of information about it, and articles like that makes me remember the Reader Digest. I used to read a lot, but it was so weird because I was younger, and I realized that the histories I think people have nothing to do. They want to it's like make speculation about it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. Let's see what Xenia says.
About this history of the plane, with the plane?
Yeah, exactly. What do you think?
I think yes, I agree with previous speaker that it's accident, simple accident, and maybe in the ocean. I don't know, it's very strange, but I think it's simple.
Simple, a little strange, but still innocent.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, thank you, Xenia. Ilkin, what do you think? Are you there, Ilkin? I can't hear you. You need to unmute your microphone. No, perhaps Ilkin has been abducted. Let's see what Barley says.
I believe that it wasn't a simple accident because this airplane is very huge and we have a very improved technology to find it. So I am concerning and working on the technology. So I know that we have a improved very good technology to find it. I don't believe it is a simple accident. I think there is some fishy things.
Something fishy, Barley. Something fishy.
Something fishy. Yes, I think that there was something fishy.
And do you know what this, or do you have any sort of theories as to what the something fishy was, or you're not quite sure about that? You just think something's not quite right.
I don't know, but you know, there are some terrorist groups on the earth and some different terrorist groups, and also I believe maybe I don't know, but I don't believe it is not a simple accident. But,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Barley, thank you for that. Ali, what's your perspective?
I don't know. I usually don't believe in some, how to say, conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a simple accident, but it's strange. It's been a long time and there is no proof or no news from the plane.
Yep.
I don't know why a country or secret service wants to how to say escape this plane, or maybe something very interesting or worthy in the plane, or some passengers. I don't know about the passengers.
Okay,
but,
interesting idea.
I can't think of any reason how a country or secret service kidnap the people in the plane or escape. I don't know.
Yeah, all
Maybe
right.
it's a simple accident. I don't know.
So you think it could be a simple accident, but you're not too sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Ali. And last but not least, Alexander.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat one more time the questions?
Yes, we're just basically giving our opinions, Alex, on what we think happened to the plane. So, do you think it disappeared innocently? Do you think it was just an accident, or do you think something suspicious was going on?
Well, actually, I heard some mysterious stories about that disappearance, and even I heard, some enigmatic theories of the disappearance. But I support the idea that it was just the problems with the equipment, maybe with with the engine and etc. So, but however, we know that now it could cause it could be caused by, I don't know, by someone outside, and so the main theory of the disappearance is about it was like innocent accident, but during that whole investigation about that, the fact that there was nothing to to bring up or to bring up clearly about that case. It's kind of a strange thing, and maybe someone, trying to avoid some facts. I don't know actually, but I heard that some weeks ago, some group of people found the pieces of that liner.
Okay, interesting. All right, Alex, so you think there might be something a bit funny about how it could have disappeared, but you're not entirely sure whether it was an accident or whether this was on purpose, right?
The reason why it disappeared is because the indicators of how to say.
Yep, the plane's indicator signals or whatever. Yep.
Indicator signal was very old, and probably they just was too old to transmit the information, and now we just can't find them.
Okay. All right, thank you, Alex. And I'll just say a quick hi and welcome Mustafa. Hi, Mustafa.
Teacher, how are you?
Welcome. Lovely to see you. We're talking about the Malaysians plane, and we're just about to start reading. We've shared our opinions on what we think happens. We're going to find out a little bit more. So I'm going to zoom in now so that we can actually see that a bit better. And I'm going to ask, who should I ask? Simone, could you start off with some reading for us, please?
Yes. Okay. So the unsettling oddness was there from the first moment on March 8, when Malaysia Airlines announced that a plane from Kuala Lumpur bound for Beijing, Flight 370, had disappeared over the South China Sea in the middle of the night. There had been so bad weather, no distress call, no wreckage, no eyewitness accounts of a fireball in the sky, just a plane that said goodbye to one air traffic controller, and 2 minutes later failed to say hello to the next. And the crash, if it was a crash, got stranger from there.
Thank you, Simone. Great reading. Okay. This one here, you pronounced it correctly, but you sounded a bit hesitant, so let's just practice it. It's wreckage.
Wreckage.
Yeah. All right, so anyone want to ask any questions before we carry on? No, we're all okay? All right.
What is wreckage?
Good question. What is wreckage? Does anybody know?
Okay, it's a kind of remains of something. In this case, remains of the plane.
Exactly. So if something's been destroyed, then what's left is the remains or the wreckage. But there wasn't any.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Simone. Beautiful start. Let's go to Paco, my year-long detour. No, you're not there, Paco?
Yes,
you are? All right,
Well,
wonderful. Off you go.
my year-long detour to planet MH370 began 2 days later, when I got an email from an editor at Slate asking if I'd write about the incident. I'm a private pilot and a science writer, and I wrote about the last big mysterious crash of Air France 447 in 1909.
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
My story ran on the 12th. The following morning, I was invited to go on CNN soon. I was on air up to 6 times a day as part of its non-stop MH370 coverage.
Excellent. All right. Well done for perfect reading from you as well, Paco. Anyone to ask questions about this section?
Year long?
Year long. Anyone know what year long means?
The tour. Year long, the tour. The two words.
Okay. So, first of all, let's look at year long. What does year long mean? Anyone know?
I think simply lasting for a year.
Yep, exactly. So a month long is lasting for a month. A year long is lasting for a year. It's the amount of time. What about a detour?
I think it's not the straight path to something, like more longer path to it.
Yes, exactly. A detour is basically when you have to change direction because of some kind of a problem or something that's happened. So usually if there's roadworks, you have a detour, or what we call in the UK a diversion, but it's the same thing. So he wasn't planning on going to this hypothetical planet MH30, and he suddenly had to because it happened, and he was the person everybody wanted to talk to. Anyone else? I think that's quite clear. All right, let's continue. And Mustafa from There Was.
There was no intro course on how to be a cable news expert. The town car would show up to take me to the studio. I'd sign in with reception. A guest greeter would take me to makeup. I'd hang out in the green room. The sound guy would rig me with the mic and an earpiece. A producer would lead me onto the set. I'd plug in and sit in their seat. A producer would tell me what camera to look at during the introduction. We'd come back from break. The anchor would read the introduction to the story and then ask me a question, or maybe two. I'd answer. Then we would go to break. I would unblock, wipe off my makeup, and take the car 43 blocks back uptown. Then a couple of hours later, I'd do it again. I was spending 18 hours a day doing 6 minutes of talking.
Thank you, Mustafa. All right, so that sounds like an ordeal to me. Has anyone ever been on TV before? No? All right, well, it sounds to me like it's not a lot of fun, especially if you're a guest speaker. So any questions about any of the vocab in this part, or any parts that we don't understand?
The word would is talking about the past, not the conditional, isn't it?
Yes. So this is a slightly unusual use of it. It's because it's telling you something that happened that was sort of typical. This is typically what would happen. It's not necessarily every single detail of every single time, but in general, the typical kind of situation would have been this. So yeah, that's why we use the conditional. Good question.
And rig, rack.
Rig, this one here?
Yes.
What is to rig?
Guy would rig me.
Yeah, this is a good one. Anyone know? No? Alright, so there's two... Yeah?
No problem. Continue.
Okay, there are two meanings to this. The meaning that's we're talking about here is simply to fix a piece of equipment in place. To fix a piece of equipment in place. So sometimes we say, oh, let's rig up the, I don't know, TV. It means that we've got a new TV and we're going to sort it out and plug it in. Does anyone know what the other meaning of to rig is? If you rig results, for example.
I mean, like to dig?
No, not to dig.
Because oil rigs has to do with digging.
Okay, yes, that's an oil rig. Yeah, that's not the meaning I'm thinking of, but good point, Paul. If we say to rig the elections, yeah, sorry.
Maybe change the result for your opinion.
Yes, exactly right. Thank you, Ali. So if we rig the results of the elections, for example, it means you change the results.
Falsify?
Yeah, falsify. Not exactly falsify. It means more like that you organize it so that the results appear to be what they're not.
Ah, yes, I understand.
Rather than totally make it up. Okay? Yeah. Any other questions? All right, let's continue. Find out what happens next. Luis, as time went by.
Okay. As time went by, CNN, we know it. Its expert pool down to a dozen or so regulars who earned the on-air title CNN Aviation Analysts. Airline pilots, ex-government honchos, aviation lawyers, and me. We were paid by the week, with the length of our contracts dependent on how long the story seemed likely to play out. The first couple were 7 days, the next few were 14 days, and the last one was a month. We had appeared solo, or in pairs, or in larger groups for panel discussions, wherever it looked to vary the rhythm of perpetual chatter.
Thank you. Wonderful reading. This word here is aviation. Aviation.
Aviation.
Great. Well done. Okay, any questions here about vocabulary?
I have some, teacher.
Sure.
We know it. What is that?
Okay, probably I should think you guys don't know this one. This means it just reduced the number of experts by sort of cutting out the ones who are not so expert. So choosing the best experts from the group that you have and making the group smaller. Okay?
Wow, looks like a Big Brother show. So they were eliminating people.
Yes, almost like that, yeah. Okay, any other questions?
What about
Honchos?
This is a funny one. A honcho is the person in charge, usually like the boss. We sometimes say something like, who's the head honcho? That means who's the boss, okay?
Okay.
Anyone else?
Perpetual chatter.
Perpetual chatter. Does anyone know what that means?
Okay, I know. It's like chatter which never stops, and
Yep.
it will go forever. Probably.
Correct. Yep, it keeps on going. What is chatter?
The process of chatting. I mean,
yes,
think.
so
Chatter
talking basically. Yeah.
Someone talk.
Sorry, Ali?
Chatter. Someone talk too much, or?
Yeah, it's talking, exactly. All right, Ali, could you carry on for us and read from I Soon Realized?
Okay. I soon realized the germ of every TV news segment is official say X. The validity of the story derives from the authority of the source. The expert, such as myself, is on hand to add dimension or clarity. Truth flowed one way, from the official source through the anchor past the expert and onward into the great sea of Weaverdom.
Thank you. Could you carry on, please?
Okay. What made MH370 challenging to cover was, first, that the event was unprecedented and technically complex, and second, that the officials were remarkably untrustworthy. For instance, the search started over the South China Sea, naturally enough, but soon after, Malaysia opened up a new search area in the Andaman Sea, 400 miles away. Why? Rumors swirled that military radar had seen the plane pull a 180. The Malaysian government explicitly denied it, but after a week of letting other countries search the South China Sea, the officials admitted that they'd known about the U-turn from day one.
Thank you, Ali. Well done. A couple of words just to practice. This one here is unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
Yep. And this one is event.
Event.
Yeah, the emphasis is on vent rather than E, okay? Last one, radar.
Radar.
Correct. Okay, questions about these two paragraphs, because this isn't, we're going to talk about what it says here in a moment.
Viewerdom?
Viewerdom. Does anyone know what that means or can figure it out?
I think it's the public in general.
Yes, exactly. It's like a made-up word, actually, but if you take the word kingdom, it's like
The
the
viewers.
pardon?
The viewers.
Yeah, exactly. The land of the viewers, like the country of the viewers. It's kind of like a metaphor, but yes, it means the viewers. Actually, it's the great sea of the viewers. So yeah. Any other questions?
Teacher, sorry, unprecedented, like unknown?
Unprecedented. What does unprecedented mean?
Or
No,
never
that's-
done?
Yep, exactly. Never having happened before. It has never happened before. It's new.
Okay.
Anything else?
What is swirled?
To swirl. Swirl is like a movement. What could swirl? If you think of water and you put your hand in it and sort of move your hand around, the water will probably swirl. It means move in different directions. Any others?
Yeah, teacher, explicitly.
Explicitly. What does explicitly mean? Anyone know?
No need explanation.
Yes, exactly. It's very clear, very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly denied it could be a good synonym there. Or there's no I don't know, doubt. They're extremely clear about something. All right. So let me ask Alexander, what does the author say in this little section? What do we find out? Are you there, Alex? No? All right, I'll ask Luis instead. Luis, what do we find out from this? No? You're not there either? Okay, how about you, Paul?
Okay, I can try. So, what is said is that there's a lot of like middle parts going on in order to deliver information to the viewer. The author mentions authorities and then radio hosts, TV hosts, experts, and other things. So it looks like not trustworthy at all. That's one. And he points out that the Malaysian authorities conducted their own investigation at first, but then they let others know that some kind of interesting thing went on with the plane, like that U-turn of the plane. So it's like the situation is a bit hazy and looks fishy, as we said.
Very good, thank you, Paul. So one strange thing is that Malaysia suddenly decided to search an area of the sea that was completely different to where we first thought the plane might have crashed. And then we eventually found out that that was because they knew that the plane had done a U-turn, or basically turned round and flown in a different direction. Why? We have no idea. Let's read the next paragraph. Paul, could you take that for us, of course?
Okay, no problem. Of course, nothing turned up in the Andaman Sea either. What the London scientists for a British company called Inmarsat, that provides telecommunications between ships and aircraft, realized its database contained records of transmissions between MH370 and one of its satellites for the 7 hours after the plane's main communication system shut down. 7 hours. Maybe it wasn't a crash after all. If it were, it would have been the slowest in history.
Right, so now we find out some even more strange information. Mustafa, what is the second thing that's really strange?
When they like receive this signal, yeah, after how many days he said, like
not days,
hours, 7 hours.
Yes.
7 hours. 7 hours, yeah. So this is like, as he said, like the slowest in the history would have been like the crash. It would be the slowest one. It's full of puzzle, you know what? Like this crash is full of puzzle.
Exactly. It's very puzzling. Firstly, the plane seemed to have turned round and gone in the opposite direction. And secondly, 7 hours after the communications shut down, the plane was still sending signals, so it couldn't have crashed, because how would the signals be getting through? So here we go, here's a little map. And you can see that it shows us some various information. So let's see, Paco, are you there?
Yes, I'm.
Wonderful. Can you just read out what we can see on the map here? So if you start on the left with this part and move across.
Okay, satellite.
Yep.
35,800 kilometers above sea level. Last radar contact with MH370. And last known possible position of MH370 based on satellite data somewhere on red lines.
Right, so if you have a look at those red lines, they stretch a huge amount of land. Like you can see, it goes all the way across China, even further, and then down here all the way across the sea. So it's a gigantic area of search that we can figure out, which is one of the things that made it so difficult, I think. We'll find out a little bit more about the communication. So Paco, could you read for us these electronic?
These electronic handshakes or pings contain no actual information, but by analyzing the delay between the transmission and reception of the signal, called the burst timing offset, or BTO, Inmarsat could tell how far the plane had been from the satellite and thereby plot an arc along which the plane must have been at the moment of the final ping. That arc stretched some 6,000 miles, but if the plane was traveling at normal airline speeds, it would most likely have bound up around the ends of the arc, either in Kazakhstan and China in the north of the Indian Ocean in the south. My money was on Central Asia, but CNN quote unnamed US government source saying that the plane had probably gone south, so that became the dominant view.
Thank you. Great reading, Paco. All right. Just this one word here. This is signal.
Signal.
Yeah. Well done.
Well,
okay. Anyone want to ask anything about this paragraph?
When it said my money was, it refers that they bet.
Yeah.
They
he
bet
didn't
on
actually bet, but it's the idea that if he did bet, he would bet that it was Central Asia.
They think.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
He thinks
right.
very strongly, strong enough to place a bet on it.
My money was.
Yeah, my money was on. My money was on. If your money's on something, it means that's what you think. Okay.
Funny.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, teacher, I have a question about it would most likely have wound up. What's this phrasing?
To wind up. What does to wind up mean? Anyone know? It's the same as to end up. No? This means to finish, basically, after a long process. If you wind up doing something, then you consider something, or you're like thinking about it, or traveling, or whatever, and then at the end of that journey, either metaphorical or actual journey, you wind up somewhere, you finish somewhere, okay? All right, so this explains it a little bit more. Ali, can you just tell us in your own words, what does this paragraph say?
This paragraph say different sources think where is the accident or where is the plane, and they guess the plane is where they went and the plane, or where it could be.
Yep.
And different opinion and different ideas about the plane.
Okay, correct. So basically, it's sort of explaining what we just saw, that according to the signals that they received in those 7 hours, they judged the distance between the release of the signal and the reception of the signal, and they figured out that either the plane was along here or along here. They think it would have been at the extreme end because of the fact that it lasted so long, so the plane would have kept flying. The author thinks that the plane would have ended up here in China or Kazakhstan, but it says that CNN quoted unnamed US government sources, which sounds a little bit dodgy to me, saying that the plane was probably actually down here in the south. All right, what's your interpretation of that, guys? Paul, what do you reckon?
Okay, I can guess that this source is unreliable, and they try to make something up in order to cover the truth, maybe.
Could be.
And to shade it all thing, in order to for the viewdom to be confused.
Okay, interesting point. I think that from when we read this article, that's what comes across. You're absolutely right. However, do we think that this writer is totally reliable himself? Does anyone have doubts about him?
Of course, it might be that he's either unreliable. How can we possibly tell about it?
Well, we can't, Paul, exactly right, and this is one of the mysteries of the entire situation. You can see I've put a picture on the screen there, which is what happens next, but unfortunately, we haven't got time to read anymore. You guys are going to have to continue to read about this if you would like to, and find out what happens next and what this writer thinks. But it's certainly true that there are some really unusual things that happened in relation to the crash, and whether it was innocent or not, there are still some strange things that went on. Perhaps they were coincidences. But why would a plane do a U-turn and suddenly fly the other way? And how come the signals were being received 7 hours after the plane disappeared? So two of the questions that come up. If you would like to continue reading and you have further questions or you want to talk about this anymore, go ahead to my Facebook page and we'll continue the discussion over there. So thank you all of you for contributing and reading and also sharing your opinions on this topic. And I wonder if we'll ever find out, what do you guys reckon? It's my last question for today's lesson. Do you think we'll ever find out what actually happened to this plane, or is it too late now? What do you think, Luis?
I have a point. So let me share it. So if the authorities would let us know, we will know. If they wouldn't let us know, we wouldn't know.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
depends on.
you think it depends on the authorities, and you think they do know what happened, but they're not telling us?
Yes, it is. It depends on what the authorities find out.
Okay. So if it's something dodgy, maybe they won't tell us, Paco.
Sorry?
If it's something suspicious or dodgy, perhaps they won't tell the rest of the world.
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay. How about you, Mustafa? What do you think?
I agree with you.
Oh, we have a class full of wonderful, positive conspiracy
They don't want
theorists.
to worry.
They don't want us to worry. Okay. Luis, what do you think? Are you there?
I just think it was a normal accident, teacher.
You're
It's
still
just
convinced?
said that yes, it's just said that it has been so difficult to find, so people start to make theories about it.
All right, fair enough. That could absolutely be true. And Ali, last word for the class. What do you reckon?
I don't think. I think it's a simple accident. Maybe I can't think any reason someone do something about the plane. Maybe the Malaysia's prime minister blamed the company of which made the plane.
Oh, are you guys still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, it's probably the time to go to another class.
Hopefully see you again soon.
Okay. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Good night. Good night, guys.
Good night.